dance, make it bang, yeah.
Midnight in Miami. Good vibes, open views. And you could get the latest news. It's all on YouTube at midnight in Miami.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Tom, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're being beautiful. You can leave that conversation in the beginning because it's beautiful. It is day, 542 of quarantine?
43.
Sorry, I lose count. Is that yesterday I didn't do, the little, the little stick? Yeah, and then you got to do, because sometimes if you don't do the fifth one across, you forget. You know? And that's prison hacks. You know what I'm saying? It is I, Gamero. I am joined here, as always, by my boy, ill-logicz.
What's going on, y'all?
Ali, the alien, with a brand new hairdo. And we got my main man, Craig, in the back. What's happening, man? Mm-hmm. How you living this Rona, my man? How you living this, man?
Mm-hmm. Damn, speaking of prisons.
You
know, people are locked in prisons right now on the coronavirus, can't leave.
So, okay.
It's people locked up in the coronavirus.
But 6x9 is, or 6ix9ine is free.
6x9?
Yeah,
hey, that's
6x9.
That's my OG. Hey, that's Home Depot right there. Since I was a kid, bro, 6 years old, I was Home Depot, bro.
6x9.
That's 6x9, boy. He out there.
He's out there.
He is out free. I thought
Go ahead.
I thought it was funny because him and Y Melly both applied for the same thing, and he got accepted, and Y Melly wasn't.
Because they're trying to say that because he was convicted or is being accused of murder, so that's why they're keeping him behind locked doors compared to 6ix9ine, who's a snitch.
Yeah,
kind of
but
bitch.
that's understandable.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, that is understandable.
It's understandable.
We feel you, but I don't know.
I mean, 6ix9ine is a snitch, so we don't want him. But I
mean, you don't want a potential murderer and a snitch, or whatever. Okay, but I don't know. It doesn't. There is no
somebody, so that's why I can't get out. Oh, okay. Y'all hating.
They be so quick to judge nowadays. So quick.
Real quick.
What did you guys see his post when he got out? He's kind of already starting to troll. He said something along the lines.
He did not already get out, did he?
No, he got out and he's posting already. And he was talking about
y'all need a snitch or something.
He's like I don't know why y'all calling me snitches, and then he put a little emoji of a rat or something along those lines. So it's
because
you snitched.
Because you snitched.
Because you're a rat. I don't know.
Here's the thing. It's like, you know what you were getting into, right? We all know what gang's about. We all know what your crew, you knew what you were getting into before you hopped in. But when
we all watched Freedom Riders, we know what's going on. All right, continue.
But it wasn't until if it's beneficial for him, then he's on the train. But as soon as that shit started being like, oh, y'all turning against me, or oh, this is not beneficial for me anymore, or I'm trying to take more for my plate, that's when shit starts blowing up, and it's like, okay, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I get it if you kind of have a clear mind, but he was such a troll that it's like, you were this the whole entire time. Don't tell me because you were in a gang they made you act like this, and now you're a whole new person because you're getting out. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, don't try to play. It doesn't make no sense.
You had come up with a genius master plan before we went on air to solve the corona crisis. Why don't you enlighten us?
Well, I feel like it'll help expedite the process of figuring out the solution to diseases, not just the coronavirus, but it's in beta, you know.
It's in very early
stages.
Beta,
we have to pass it through the Senate.
Yeah,
but,
it's not even in the Kickstarter campaign yet. You know what I'm saying?
Passed it through Craig yet? Did he agree?
We haven't gotten the approval, Craig, yet. So, but we're working on that one first.
Yeah. That's our main guy. Once we get Craig, we can move forward.
Yeah.
But I mean, all right. So we live in Miami. The ones here, and for the ones out there who do live in Miami, we understand the situation at hand with when it comes to the homeless people here, right? And it's unfortunate. It is. They're homeless. They're living on the streets. It's sad. You go downtown Miami at night and you see just streets full of them. I just came back from Cali. It's even worse over there.
Yeah, I heard.
It's crazy. And it's like, at least in Cali, they get creative. They have tents. I don't know why they don't do that here in Miami. Because it rains here a lot more than Cali.
Yeah. In Cali, it's more of a hippie area, no? Yeah. Over here, it's like, vaya para allá.
Yeah.
Go the fuck over there.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times when I hear...
They have like tented areas for...
Here
yeah,
or in Cali?
I think they have communities, like full communities.
They
over
do,
in
though.
Cali.
Oh,
They don't have a room for a community because, they're not allowed anywhere.
Question: do you think the people that when you're in traffic and there's a light or whatever, and the people that are selling flowers or fruits, do you think they're homeless or no?
No.
No,
not all of them. There's some that they just do it just for... Yo, you can make some extra... You can actually make some really good money. You can make like $100, $200 a day.
like with that.
With that.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
And
on the street, bro. Just doing that, selling water. We used to make anywhere between like 100 to 150 selling water bottles when I was a kid to raise money for camp, and that was just us like selling water bottles. If you sell these flowers for $5, and you can make some money.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes people will even buy your whole stand and just be like, "Oh, because I know you've been out here for so long, I'm just give you or buy it all from you."
Yeah, I seen that.
But I actually went to somewhere in Iceberry Road. You remember that there was a Hispanic lady selling some water or something. There was a black lady selling flowers, or
she was it was a Spanish woman selling flowers, a black woman selling water.
Oh yeah, and
then a white guy veteran with a sign say, "Why lie? I need a beer."
I seen
they
that.
all standing together on the same corner.
It was so like it's something out of a fucking...
It sounds like the beginning of a joke. So there's a white guy.
So 3 dudes walk into a bar. But okay, as you were saying.
So the homeless situation here is serious. And in California as well. So for all my Californians, we understand the struggle. So a lot of times when it comes to new drugs, they test it on animals first, right? And then human testing is not till later, right? And the thing is that as humans, the best type of testing, when it comes to drugs, obviously is human testing because that's,
we're human.
Yeah, we're all human. So my idea is this. It's a solution for the homeless, right? First of all, we work with consent forms. We go to the homeless, say, hey, listen.
What's popping?
Brand new whip just hopped in. We need to
new
test.
Phone, who this?
We need to test these drugs on people so that we could see how effective it is on humans. And you guys are candidates, so you can sign the consent form. We house them, we feed them, we pay them,
treat them like royalty.
Like royalty. It's completely on whether they want to do it or not. If any time they want to opt out, they can. They're not forced to be here.
Well, then what would be the difference between, I guess, that and volunteering for medical studies that you get paid for?
The only difference from that basically is we're going to them as opposed to you coming up to a medical facility and being, hey, I want to volunteer.
Because we're lacking people.
Exactly.
You're saying. Okay.
Yeah, and you're going to house the homeless too.
We're going to house the homeless. Like aside from that, that's a huge difference. We're going to house them. We're going to feed them. We're going to pay them. So it's like it helps out with the homeless situation, right? Mm-hmm. And at the same time.
But not in a FEMA camp.
No.
Yeah, not
like I said, it's not going to be behind fenced with barbed wires. No.
Yeah.
Again,
you can leave.
It's like 17,000 fucking viruses in here, all held by people. We cannot let anyone leave.
Yeah, we don't want it to be like those immigration camps that tear away from their kids from their parents and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that shit's hella sad,
Yeah. And of course, depending on what drug they're testing on you, there's going to be like different rules and stuff. Like, hey, listen, after we put this, you have to quarantine yourself for 14 days. Whatever the rule is, obviously there's more into that bill that we're going to write up and pass once we get it through Craig. But, once we get the thumbs up from Craig. But it could really help us out. So with the help of you guys out there, we're accepting donations to push this bill. If you guys want to vote yes on number 72.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you, man.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Honestly, that's a campaign I can get behind. And
Right,
if you were to run for office, I'd vote for you.
All right,
That's
thank you. We got 2 approvals here. Ali gave me the thumbs up earlier. Craig.
It had to be full consent.
Full consent, obviously.
From the person
and
himself.
even after you sign it, you can leave.
Oh, damn. It's a loophole in the contract.
I don't know. How you
But
do that?
again,
How you
it
gonna sign and
depends on
leave?
the drug. It depends on the drug. Like again, if they're testing something serious, they're like, look, all right, if you want to opt out after this testing, that's cool, but you have to be here for at least 30 days when it comes to this drug because we need to see how it's going to
Do you
react.
have leukemia?
For each disease, it would be like a different contract.
Exactly.
Basically.
There's going to be
not
a different
disease,
one
but
for testing. Yeah, there's going to be a different contract because they want to see how you act after 2 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
As long as we don't test in Africa, I'm good.
you see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah,
Come on,
that's what we were
somebody.
talking about.
Come
Who
on,
was it that
somebody.
went? Who was it?
It
Trying to go
was
test in
some
Africa.
dude,
And
bro.
We're saving homeless people, bro. Poverty kills. People don't know that. Poverty kills. I was telling Ali, I don't want to drive with my mother on the passenger side, and I get stopped at a red light, which happens. Obviously, we all get stopped at red lights, and then you hear that on the side, and mom's like, "What is that?"
It's kids playing dodgeball, Mom.
And but she turns, and you tell her not to turn, and she's looking at 2 naked old homeless people. Just you know what I'm saying?
Playing dodgeball.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk down the sidewalk and there's a turd on the side. I mean, there's just where do they go to the bathroom? We could solve this.
We could
With
solve
your
this.
vote.
With your vote, we can make this happen.
We can make this happen.
You never have to go through that embarrassing moment with your mother again.
Ever
again. And hopefully this doesn't affect the popularity of dodgeball, you know? That's what that's really what we should take away from that.
Did you see that movie? It's fucking hilarious.
Dodgeball?
Dodgeball, the
that
movie?
Is, what were the 5 keys of dodgeball? Duck, dodge, dip, something else, and dodge.
And hold on.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was a French doctor that wanted to test on Africans.
And then I heard I was telling them I heard numerous soccer players like speak out about how that's crazy. Which it is. What we were talking about also this whole Ari Shaffir fiasco.
Yeah. Really quick, the 5 Ds of dodgeball: dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
That's beautiful.
I cannot let something go.
Thank you. And that's also really an apocalypse / coronavirus tip, if you really think about it, because you got to dodge that Rona. You know what I'm saying? Ari Shaffir, topic of the day. For those of you who don't know, we were talking about how, Ali, why don't you enlighten us?
This man spiked his homie's fucking drink with the Molly.
And for background info, this is the same man. This is the same guy who's behind the whole Kobe Bryant controversy, and also from back in 2004, some shit, The Amazing Racist. I don't know if you guys remember an early viral video that he went to a laundromat in the hood. And he gave them a KKK cloak to wash to a black person.
That kid.
That's him.
Oh my God! No, he didn't.
He went to the ghetto, and it wasn't he only had one cameraman. It didn't look. It looked like if I was there with you, and I just had my phone. It didn't look like a professional production, but it was for what was this channel called? I think it was Spike TV, something like that. I forgot what channel it was. Or it could be for YouTube. I could be wrong. Don't fucking quote me on that.
I think I did see it on YouTube.
It's definitely on YouTube, but I don't know if it was actually aired on TV. And he went to a laundromat in the ghetto, and dressed. I don't know if he was dressed normal or in the cloak, but he went into, and it was a black-owned business, and the guy was just like, "Yeah, how can I help you?" Whatever. He's like, "Yeah, can you wash this for me?" And he gives him a KKK cloak. Oh my God. And so the reaction is entailed. If we don't get copyright, if we don't get copyright, you should see it on the screen. If there is copyright issues, then you don't see it on the screen. Check out that YouTube.
Yeah,
they're going too far.
He pushes the bar a lot, and then it's like, why y'all so mad? It's funny.
Molly in my drink.
That was also when he got really canceled over the Kobe Bryant thing. His agent left him. His manager left him.
He's going by a whole new name.
Yeah, he's performing under another name that I don't know how his fans are like finding out these venues that he was performing in. Obviously not now because of Rona, but
he privated all his shit.
What did he say about Kobe?
Kobe.
About Kobe.
The day. I mean, can you play it? I don't know if it's there. The day that he died, not even a few hours, maybe like an hour and a half after, he was in the Staples Center, right? Was it the Staples?
He was in front of the Staples Center.
He was in front of the Staples Center.
On January 31st, when did Kobe die?
I know it was the same day. But he was basically like, ha ha ha, today the world lost a rapist.
Oh my god.
And he's like, actually I don't even want to fucking like, I want to have the exact
So on January 31st it came out Kobe passed away on the 26th. So 4 days later.
Okay.
Always a bunch of terrible stories. And every once in a while there's a good story. A good story comes out. The guy who got away with rape got his today. Kobe Bryant is gone. I'm here in Charlotte, the home of the team that originally drafted him.
Charlotte.
Maybe he wouldn't have raped that chick in Denver if he had stayed in Charlotte with the Hornets. But anyway, the point is, dude, it's like, as I know, there's always a lot of like hate, pain in the world.
And then it just replays.
Oh my god.
Every once in a while.
So yeah, he said that dumbass fucking.
He said
video.
that, and then he tried to delete it, but obviously at that point it was too late. It was It was a little surprising because you know the saying, "Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are," sort of thing. His friends are. Obviously, I don't know them, but from what I've seen in podcasts, you know, Bert Kreischer, fucking Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, they're all very level-headed. Yeah, they're all comedians, and they all crack jokes like no other, but they're all, like, they have a pretty decent understanding of social cues, you know, and what's right and what's wrong, and how far you can push that line. That's an issue that comedians always tend to have, like, hey, you know, I want to push the envelope to the edge, but in your pursuit to do that, you forget that maybe you push it over and you fuck up.
Yeah, but he has multiple.
That's the thing. That's his thing. Like every time that someone dies, like he'll make a comment. Like that's supposedly his thing, his shtick. You know what I'm saying?
That's a wrong thing.
Exactly. And so even a lot of people were talking about like the people that this appeals to are not people that anybody would want to hang out with in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's the bad vibes people.
Yeah. So,
but every time they even try to defend him, it's almost like he's such a good guy, and it's like
he mollied his homeboy
in front of his daughters
in his home.
He did not tell him and mollied and drugged the guy.
And like to top it all off, they were on a sober month.
Like they invite, his family invited him over for dinner.
I wouldn't want to be drugged any other way.
Oh my god,
that's crazy.
And that's the thing. I mean, me personally, I haven't really been on Molly, so I don't know how that. You know,
it's supposed to be like. I don't know if acid is like ecstasy.
I heard that it's pretty euphoric, but regardless, he was talking about how he was happy because that drug makes you happy or whatever. But after the case, he was still super pissed. Like they didn't speak for a while.
Yeah, you drugged me, bro, but yeah, that's cool.
Like,
I would have fought. I would have fought
tomorrow.
You know,
how would you fought on a Molly?
Oh no, after as soon as I sobered up.
Yeah,
I'm good.
How would you react?
I would definitely be extremely angry. I mean, come on, dude. If you don't want to do something and you're being forced to do it, that's a problem. There's a problem there. Absolutely. So
sober month.
Yeah, and on that, he was like that. He felt I wish it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Him, Tom Segura, and Bert and Joe Rogan were all talking about it, and he explained his part being that it was because he was on sober month with him that he wanted to kind of get back and like make it fun or funny or whatever, and did not go right, and it just makes you have a more sour taste about him. And I don't want to be around that.
Yeah, I don't see how you can really. I mean, it'd be hard to make a comeback after that. I could see how maybe he'll still have like small performances or whatever, because if you have a loyal fan base. But regardless, I don't think that that was wise at all. Go ahead.
I don't think even defending that is good. At a certain point, everybody got to be like, you went too far. Mm-hmm. You know, this is going too far. When is anybody gonna slap his hand and be like, those jokes? It's not good for anybody, not even the family. You're here catering to a fan base that doesn't even know this person about the death. You know what I'm saying? Can you find another joke?
I remember Lindsay Lohan defending Harvey Weinstein. Talking about, well, he was nice because he never did anything to me.
Oh, shit.
And it's like, well, that's great, but there's like 40 other women.
Yeah. Right? Like, that's an easy one.
There's 40 other women that got something else to say, you know? What, have you gotten any sort of, what's been Corona like for you this week for the studio? Give me a little update. As soon as I walked in, I was like, oh my God, it is impeccable. Like I walked in,
the cleaning.
It smelled, I was like, ooh, what is that? Lysol? That's nice.
Yes. We've been definitely on top of the disinfecting. After every session, we have to, I mean, even then, like a lot of our engineers in between sessions, they be wiping it down, which is the best way to go about it.
Yes, sir.
The funniest thing is I actually bought, I shop at Sam's, so everything is like bundled.
Bulk, yeah.
And I bought Clorox or like bleach. It was a disinfectant cleaner, like a big bottle of it to put to clean. And I bought it before this whole thing happened. So now we're like stocked, and I didn't notice till after. I'm like, yo, this is perfect. It's like this Clorox cleaner that disinfects and that kills 99, whatever. Either way, so we're good in that aspect. But yeah, we've been disinfecting. If not after every session, you know, at least a good amount of times a day, like 5 or 6 times, and just staying on top of making sure that we're as clean as possible.
What about you, as far as like apart from business, on a personal note?
All right. Well, here's the thing: is that I live my life a little differently than other people do.
A little hermit crab, huh?
You know, that too. I do live in another cage. But aside from me feeling that I'm immortal, no, I'm saying, you know, logistically speaking, I try to keep my distance just so that, because I heard that you can have it and not show symptoms, and you may be able to pass it. Like, yeah. So, you know, I try to play it safe like that in that regard. But I don't go out in fear of catching it, just because of how I live my life. You get me? Like, obviously I just got to take my measures of not touching my face and washing my hands whenever I do. And my hands have been getting dry of how much I've been washing. But, I mean, you know, you feel me? I'm also a man of great faith. And I feel like, you know, not to say that God's not going to give it to me, you know, because that doesn't mean just because you believe in God and you serve him doesn't mean you're not going to get sick. That's not how it happens. It's just, you know, if he's not going to make me a victim. So whatever happens to me, whether I catch it or I don't, you know, I understand that it's part of the plan. And obviously, again, I try to avoid. That doesn't mean I go out licking everything.
Yeah.
Oh
Give me your hand now,
sure.
ma'am.
Like the wall from Willy Wonka.
Yeah, you just gotta
lick that up.
I take every precaution. Yeah, I take every precaution necessary, and I wash my hands. Like I said, I keep my distance, but I don't go out in fear. So, like, to answer that question, I'm not out there like, there's a lot of my friends that are like, yo, you call them and they're like,
they're tripping balls,
like scared out of their mind. And I'm like, bro, that's not a way to live life. But I can't tell you how to live. You're grown. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm living my life how I would live it. I'm not gonna force it on anybody else. But I don't go out at all, and not even when I'm here, and not even when I'm dealing with people. Somebody brings their hand up to shake it, I shake their hand, I wash my hand after.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, nah, I'm good. I don't live my life in fear. You feel me? I was around people who were sick too. Like, you know, if they have hopefully not that, but you know, if they have a cold, I'm not gonna be like, oh, get away from me. Nah, man. Like, yo, what's up? You know, I know what to do. You know, if you're sick, I'm not gonna be touching myself. You know, I'm I'm gonna wash my hands after. I'm gonna take the precautions I need to. And if you were in the building, I gotta disinfect. I mean, again, it didn't happen here, but you know, it's just precautions you take, man. There's no reason to be in fear and over exaggerate for things. That's how I feel. That's just my opinion, and that's how I'm doing it. You know,
Ali, Craig, what about you guys? Have you been quote unquote living in fear? Have you kind of been going about your life how you would normally, but with extra precautions? What you know? Give me an insight.
Come on, somebody.
You're not taking, because I know we were talking about some people not taking it seriously. You know, where do you stand?
I don't know. It's weird because it's like they tell you wear a mask if only if you have it, because you know it's not gonna work if you wear a mask only if you have it. Then they say if you go out, make sure you wear a mask.
Yeah.
So then it's like act like you don't have it, but then don't act like you do have it. Then stay at home. Then, I don't know. The only thing that's really changed was me seeing my people, like, you know what I'm saying? My grandma and things like that. Like, I went to the house the other day and we, like, outside the house, like, hey, you know, at least I see you type thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the only really difference to me. But, and plus the shows and stuff, like there's no more shows and pop-ups and stuff like that to do. Things like that. That's the only thing that's really slowed down. But everything else is, you know, people still booking sessions. And
have you still gone out the same amount or
no? Because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's true.
It's nowhere to go.
True.
That's the main thing. You know,
it's not out of fear. It's just like there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Ali?
I kind of have a theory of that just because of the fear, how everybody's just putting more focus on that, and it just more. It's like media. That's the only way that they can feed you. If they feed you at a trauma, or if they feed you something that's like big news, or they can't tell you all of these people that are surviving. Right. They got to tell you all of these tragedies. And it's unfortunate, but it does bring up like everybody's heightens everybody's
like
ratings, but also stress. And the things that even heightens the fucking coronavirus is the cold. We're here staying inside, and usually everybody keeps their fucking AC at 70 or 60 or some shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's keeping everybody in fear inside while watching the news in the cold, and it's only like heightening everything up. So it's like
you don't get sick from that, you get sick from something else.
Right. I'm trying to keep myself safe. I'm like keeping mask or whatever, but I'm also not trying to because my mind fucking goes crazy all the time. So I'm trying not to overthink it, and it's hard when you have all of these other
all the media. And again, it's not that we're not taking it serious. It's just we're taking our precautions, but we're not living in fear. That's all it is.
It's just making it worse for yourself, you know. And that's the unfortunate part that I'm just seeing in the media, that it's like publicizing the fear.
Yeah, it really is.
They're pushing the fear really hard, and it makes you question why.
Yeah.
Why is the fear? All right, it could be just TV stations saying, you know, making money, but it's beyond the media now. You know what I'm saying? You know, athletes has gone into everything shut down. So I don't know. It's weird. So why the fear of this when how many people are... the prevention of it seems like what they telling people to do, spray everything and clean everything, but no one's talking about the prevention of your strong immune system.
Yeah, Tyrese was talking about that. I don't know if you guys watched that video. He made like a 10-minute video talking about ways that you could improve your immune system. Things like, you know, if you have access to it, buy ginger. Take ginger shots.
Boiling onion, like the red onion, you make a tea out of that. That's supposed to be really good antioxidants, and it's really good for your lungs. Ginger as well, but garlic. Turmeric. I heard beets. You know, shout out to Dwight from The Office. He knew from day one. He knew Bears, Beets, Battlestar Galactica. You know what I'm saying? So get them beets. We were talking about the other day how all these fucking the toilet paper's all gone, but the vitamin stores, you know,
fully stocked.
Yeah.
So, what do you think should be really talked about? Should it be talked about? How did America get so fucked up in health of the people?
Yeah.
Or do they want to talk about just get your Lysol? You know what I mean? So now that's a big conversation of how the American people got so fucked up.
Yeah.
We're talking about water, fruit. We're talking about food. All of these industries, healthcare, everything is owned and like, you know what I'm saying? by certain people.
I also heard that in the first stages, the virus stays in your nasal passages and your throat, and then in the following phase is when it moves to the lungs. So another thing that he had recommended was kind of like old school to boil water and put a towel over and and inhale the vapor because the heat will kill the bacteria.
80 degrees and up, it's supposed to kill it apparently. So go outside. Go not go outside and like walk around. Go outside and like take in the vitamin D of the sun. Sweat a little bit.
Sorry, I was gonna say
of the sun.
And it's been hot in Miami. It's been like 90 degrees outside. And if you notice, I mean, I'm not saying it's because of the heat. I'm pretty sure it's because of the precautions we're taking. But Florida was like 6 in the highest, and now we're like at 9.
As far as what?
As far as like the most infected.
Oh, yeah?
Of the United States. So the U.S. right now is over 500,000, which, by the way, fun little fact, 500,000 people in the U.S. are infected, which is 0.15% of our population. But anyway, it's not even 1%. Either way it goes. So United States, 500,000, right? Obviously, New York being at like 190,000. This is from last night, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure it went up. So New York is the worst. And we were at sixth place. Like, it's not a race. Okay, I said 6th place, and I'm like, this kind of sounds like we're trying to be
it's like Mario Kart.
Right. But we've been bumped down to 9, and I think, I mean, aside from the precautions, it might be because of the heat. Who knows? I don't know.
And they also got to remember, the majority of these people also have undiagnosed what is that? Symptoms? Medical conditions.
Oh,
like somebody had leukemia and passed away, and they said it was the corona. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't know that.
The best thing you can do if you want to even help anybody, even your older folks, is give them some like nutritional of anything sorts.
Sea moss.
Sea moss is the best. It has
what is that?
Sea moss.
What is that?
Oh, okay.
Raw sea moss. Like that.
Do you take it in pill or like legit just raw?
It has gel. They have the actual gel form. We're supposed to pick up some jars today.
Nice.
And but it has like 92 minerals of what you out of the 102 that your body needs or whatever.
dope.
So yeah, you find a lot of just
from
natural
one food,
shit.
you know?
Yeah.
I also heard that you can make your own hand sanitizer with alcohol and aloe vera and like the aloe leaf.
The aloe leaf and apple cider vinegar.
Okay, yeah. So you can make that. There's different ways to save up on that and stock up. I was actually talking to Tom. Big shout out to Tom. You know what I'm saying, my main man. In Canada, they got level fucking heads. He sent me a video because I was talking to him about how there's a crazy toilet paper shortage. People go and get what they need over there. Like he went to the place. He sent me a video. The walls are stocked, stocked, and they're in quarantine too. You know what I'm saying? They're in the exact same boat. But
it could also be how their media is portrayed too. Like she was saying, a lot of the media just to get their ratings up, they put on like the negative sides of it, and people freak out. It goes back to what we were talking about last week, where it's like there's a reason, and I don't agree with it, but I understand it. There's a reason why the country or the nation or the world keeps things from the people. Again, I don't agree with it. I think as people, we're all grown. We should all know what the hell is happening and what we're doing. But I understand why they do it. Because things like this, where there's no toilet paper, there's no paper towels. It's crazy. So I mean, in Canada, maybe they're pushing it different.
I don't know how they started off with it, but I know for us, we had multiple opportunities to at least advise the nation, hey, take some precaution. But
Trump, no way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the note even said he's like, we're anticipating to lose over 40 million souls.
But he's saying that it's fake news, it's a hoax, everything's under control for weeks.
And listen, listeners,
and it makes me upset.
Clearly, this is a very left show.
It's not even that it's left.
But I will say, if we do have a guest at one point, say a fucking Tommy Lauren or whatever the case, that's going to be our guest, we're still going to show her the utmost respect.
For sure.
And we're going to still have an honest and colorful debate.
For sure.
Go ahead.
No, because I can respect anybody's opinion. I just, I also want you to respect people as people, humans, not as product. Okay, because we as a nation, when the president looks at us, it does like depending. Yeah, it's the science. It just makes you feel like we're so much of a product to him that he doesn't even care about our health. And it's like he's only all the stock markets are fine. Talking about all this business shit, and then when it comes to the health, it's like he's not putting so much attention until shit hits the fan. And now people are looking at him like, oh, he's doing all of this stuff, but it's like, my mans, if you did it a little bit earlier, I appreciate you, but be conscious enough and not be so much in your ass to know what is real facts, what is real health, and what is actual precaution, which is pre-precaution. We could have taken care of this and had more information and people not going all wild, and maybe still had more toilet paper in stock.
But we've been here for all this time getting shitted on by bad water, by bad everything, bad food, bad this, bad everything for all this time. So now if this America is all about business, and they're not thinking about health, they purposely make people unhealthy so that they can keep the business running, in a sense. So what's the purpose? So they already knew, like, that's a hole that if they ever get punched in that gut, you know what I'm saying, that's done for them, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure Trump was not thinking like, oh, what if some medical shit? He was just thinking business, money, the money will help everything. Don't worry, the money will help everything. But some shit like this where it's like, okay, now what?
And not to get
America falls after that.
Facts. Not to get too political, and we'll go into Craig's movie reviews after this. But what impact do you guys think that Bernie Sanders dropping out of the race will have? So it's going to be pretty much Trump and Biden.
First of all,
oh gosh,
Biden.
First of all,
you already know who's going in there.
That's what I'm saying, man.
First of all,
and Biden.
He said first of all.
When the hell did that happen? I didn't. What?
Bernie,
Mr. Hermit
Crab, like about 2 days ago, I think.
Dropping facts.
Why? Just cause
he was bored? Nah, because it was pretty obvious that it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, and people were attacking him as a person and not looking at his policy or not really looking at him, the agenda that he had. They just kept shitting on him because he's old, or shitting on him because of like he's been in it for such a long.
Even though Biden is senile, he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
have you heard Biden? He's like, what day is it? 2008.
And my man has way too many shit under him. Listen, I'm not gonna be.
He's also not pro legalization, which I'm like, come on, man.
No, he's just a real creepo, you know?
Yeah,
he's had a lot of creep moments, and we can't pass by that. And because he looks good or he acts cool or whatever.
He looked real good next to Obama, though. I'll tell you that. They had best friend thing going on.
But then when you saw his alone moments with females, he'd be real creeper.
Oh, word?
Yeah, there's too many creepers.
I'm sure Obama was just sunning him all day long. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that was a great impersonation.
Take this further than we need to.
Yo. But all right, first of all, when did this happen? So 2 days ago.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Well, it's pretty unfortunate because not to get into
he's a real person.
My political
That's why.
views, I was going for him.
They was going to look into his real personal life.
Oh, yeah.
But Bernie didn't have...
that's a house of cards right there, boy. Shit.
Bernie?
No. But I mean, politics in general. You do anything when you're 12 years old, that shit comes out when you're 72. You know what I'm saying? Like... you shoplifted that pack of candy.
Right?
Yeah, you're going to remember that.
Can't be president.
Did you inhale?
Did you inhale? Did you? What do you make of this, ill? Gasp.
No, I live in a cave, so even politics isn't really huge for me. But
Bernie's out.
I don't know, man.
Or better said, do you think, given the two candidates, on a dry answer and upfront answer, given the two candidates, who do you think realistically would win?
Honestly, I think Trump's gonna win just because that's how the game goes. I don't want him to.
Same.
But realistically speaking, I think he's gonna win. We don't know. We'll
Craig?
see what happens.
Yeah, I think Trump's gonna win.
Ali?
Between the two,
I'm really hoping not, though.
Yeah, I mean,
we have another Trump and Hillary situation, basically. Yeah, it's like you're getting the worst of two.
Yeah, it's like
the best scenario that could happen is Biden winning and having Bernie as his VP.
Yeah,
which would be dope. Which could set up.
But if there's any truth to The Simpsons, you know,
if we can believe anything and everything that's been truth in our past lives so far,
I don't know.
Yeah, The Simpsons. What would The Simpsons say? Because honestly, we have to go off
that. He died. They showed him in a casket.
Who?
Trump. Oh. They showed him winning the election. Then they showed him in a casket like later on in the.
You think like okay? I don't want to flag the FBI, but like an assassination sort of.
I don't know.
This is her Simpsons. We're going off the Simpsons.
The Simpsons said that. Hey, I don't know. I mean, but I don't know what. Corona. I don't know.
Damn. The thing is, I don't know who it was. I think it was a friend of mine. I once had said something along those lines, and a friend of mine told me that if he were to, die like that via assassination or like an illness or something like that, that he would go out a martyr. Like he kind of like he sacrificed himself for the people, and then the Republican Party would be even stronger.
I always felt like he was that one wild card that just got in. Like, who is this guy? Like,
a reality TV star.
Yeah, they're like, who is this guy? He got in. Fuck, he had enough money to get in. Like he wasn't planned or something. I don't know. I always felt that way. Like
that's like
because both sides don't like him. You know what I mean? Yeah.
He's Nobody a reality TV star. That's like if the chick from 16 and Pregnant. The president, you know what I'm saying? Or Usher, like any, you know what I'm saying? Like a random ass person.
Talking about random, Tiger King?
Yes, do I know Tiger King?
He ran for the same.
Yes, he did.
In 2016.
And he had campaign condoms.
Yes.
If you have one of those, I will pay $500. Okay, all right. Like, oh my God, Tiger King unifying a nation.
Yeah, we watched it the other day.
Oh yeah, did you finish it?
Yeah,
she's wild, right? Hey, Carol Baskin killed her fucking husband.
I'm sure
I believe, allegedly, I believe that it is.
Have you watched Tiger King?
I haven't seen it.
Bruh,
her facial reactions.
It's on the same realm as the Matrix.
She laughed every time.
She does this fucking
I
nervous.
Killed him.
She laughed. If you want to kill someone, use sardine oil. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hilarious.
Or when she was,
oh shit, this lady killed him.
She does a lot of body gestures that just signifies that when she was talking about the disappearance, she just did like 3 fucking flickers of her eye.
There's a couple people on YouTube that what they do is study mannerisms and like they can tell when someone's lying. And so, for example, when she said there was an interview when the husband just disappeared, and she's like, he left early from Miami, and then like fucking 27 years later, they're interviewing her again, and she's like, he left early to Miami, and then they analyzed the way that her lips like pierced, like it was a lie, like it's just so crazy. I'm telling you, watch it. That's just like the Matrix.
I'm gonna see that,
I would never like. The way that she kept reiterating the story about her husband disappearing, it was like she's talking about. She said, "I believe in all the things that happened to me. Things that was your man."
Look, I'm gonna tell just like this. The easiest thing in the world that for me like pointed at the fact that that she did it. There was a change in his will. That his lawyer was like, yo, in my fucking 30 years of working as a lawyer, it wasn't 30 years, don't fucking quote me. In my whatever years of working as a lawyer, I've never seen this. And it was that it said, in case of my death or disappearance. Whereas normally, like in every other will, it'll say, in case of my death, blah, 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 goes to, Pepito. In this thing, it said, in case of my death or disappearance, and the guy disappeared.
Come on now.
Come on, man. What's happening? Like, that's just...
And she reported him dead
5 years and 1 day.
Hey, yeah.
Because you had to wait 5 years in order to report it.
To get the money.
It was 5 years and 1 day.
1 day.
She's
like,
she was on the tip of her couch just rocking like...
Yeah, like, let that 5... Ooh, boy. Oh my God. And, bro, her husband is like...
A fucking.
I don't want to look kind of a creep, but also I feel like I feel like he's a victim to her brainwashing. Though.
Brainwashing. He picked her up.
Listen.
No. The current husband.
That's a fucking simp beyond simp.
Oh my god!
The entire
Did you see the picture of him in a leash?
Yeah.
There was a picture of him in a leash as a cat, and she was carrying him.
Yeah.
And that's a man. You know what I'm saying? Like.
She's such a manipulate, like having all those people work for you for free and her house is all cat. You know how much money you have to everything be all cat?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Cat, it was disgusting.
Gotta watch it. On another
crazy.
It is crazy. On another realm of entertainment, Craig's movie reviews. What you got for me today? Come on, Craig.
The Iron Skies.
Oh, that.
Which one? I'm sorry.
Iron Skies.
Iron Skies.
Iron.
Like a metal. Iron Sky.
Like an iron.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Iron Sky.
And is it one sky or multiple skies?
It was one.
Okay.
It was insane.
Oh my. Is it two thumbs? What is it? What?
He's out of this.
Huh?
It was too weird. It was, I don't know. It was, the thumb ratio was, I don't know.
The thumb ratio.
It was like a thumbs up, a toe up, but one thumb sideways.
Okay, you can't see my toe, but it's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Thumb up, a thumb sideways,
it was purposely like a bad movie.
Okay.
I think it was like on purpose though.
Kind of like, have you ever seen The Room?
Yeah, I did. Have
you seen The Room?
Nah, I haven't
You've seen The Room?
Yeah, I've seen it.
He's seen The Room.
I don't know what room you're talking about.
I seen the title, but I didn't click it.
You should
It's
watch
that. Just have a couple drinks and watch it.
Yeah, you can't do it sober. You can't watch it sober.
It's an experience. I'm telling you, it's probably the best date night you're gonna have in a while.
I put money that Craig will turn it off after 10 minutes. Money.
I put money on 5 minutes.
Craig would not. Craig can't withstand that.
Is it like human centipede? What's gonna happen?
Oh my gosh!
No.
It's like
you just have to watch it. It's very cringy. It's like it's that bad. It's like
it's a movie. It's a movie.
It's infecting.
No, it's that.
Do you think about it at night after you finish watching
nightmares,
it?
Yes.
It's like it's a movie that the creators fully seriously made it thinking this is a great movie, but it was such a bad movie that it became a great movie.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta watch it now. I like bad movies.
Like
what is it about?
Horrible. What is it about?
I don't even know.
Oh, that's
it was so bad.
I'll decipher it.
It was so bad it became famous of how bad it was.
Yeah, it really did. And then James Franco did like a movie about like James Franco did what's it called when they do
a spoof?
I know you're talking about
kind of like a spoof, I guess. Like they did a movie behind when they actually made that film.
Have you seen it? Is it good?
Yeah, I've seen both. I actually did.
Wow.
I watched The Room and then I watched the James Franco remake.
Is it funny?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought he was. I thought he nailed the fucking character.
Oh, okay.
It has a 3.7 on IMDb.
That's beautiful.
It has a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. Wow. It has a 9% on Metacritic and 78% on Google user reviews.
Of course,
yeah, of course.
That's people.
You got to see what the people say.
That's people.
Yeah.
You know, that's people right there. The Room.
It says Johnny is a successful banker who lives happily in a San Francisco townhome with his fiancee Lisa. One day, inexplicably, she gets bored of him and decides to seduce John's best friend Mark. From there, nothing will be the same.
It happens.
I remember it.
So just randomly, she wanted to get with the best friend. And then,
but when they say randomly, it is random, dude. It is. She's in love with him, and I hate you. It's like what? What did we miss? It's just oh my god! And then the sex scenes. Do you remember the sex scenes? The most awkward.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
You guys have to see it. It's just awkward. There's no nudity in it. It's just.
The audience reviews is 4.6.
I think
that's wild.
You guys,
I think that movie perfectly encapsulates my current quarantine.
I think what we need to do is make a movie day. We get a projector.
Facts.
We put The Room. We just have all of us, watching
in
it.
bubbles.
In bubbles. No more than 10 people because the rules, you know.
Yeah.
It said the budget was $6 million and box office was 1,800.
And that's beautiful. But honestly,
that's when I know.
No, they probably made it back post. Because it's a cult. It's a cult.
It's classic. A cult bad movie.
Yeah, kind of like same thing with. Didn't they say the same thing about Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yeah,
they said it was.
They still play that at.
Oh, that's a cult classic. But
Soul Plane.
That's the one. That's the one that people go dressed up as. The one about like transvest, which I don't think you can say transvestites anymore, but.
I don't know.
Yeah, but Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
If you
I've never watched it.
It's like an interactive theater experience.
Ooh.
Like you go and you're watching the movie, but like people are acting it out in front of the screen. On like they'll be like, if like for example they're throwing popcorn in the movie, they'll give you popcorn to throw, or like if there's like.
Is that? Where is that?
They'll do like different theaters will hold it.
I've seen it at Flippers before.
Yeah, and I never thought it was a live thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
I missed out.
They'll have no, but it happens around Halloween time. Like it literally, like I'm pretty sure at Coral Gables Cinema they'll do it. A lot of like indie theaters will do that sort of shit.
Go see Iron Sky. That's
Iron Sky?
Go see Iron Sky.
So it's a thumb up, a thumb down, and a toe. No, a thumb up, thumb side, and a toe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's about outer space, but it's really out there.
Is it sci-fi?
It's like extremely every conspiracy theory wrapped into one movie with comedy sprinkled in it.
Speaking of conspiracies, sprinkle me some conspiracies while we close up. I know y'all got them. I know y'all got them in the back pocket.
You know it's Easter.
Okay, yes.
It's Easter today.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you all.
It's Easter.
It's Easter.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter. I hope y'all getting them chocolate eggs. I hope y'all living that Easter life, celebrating whichever way you do, and whichever way makes you feel closer to, yourself and what you believe in, your beliefs, and really at the end of the day, what makes you a good person. That's really what matters.
Resurrection.
That's right. That's resurrection, please.
Oh no, I got a theory that I've been like.
Come on, lay it on us.
Come on.
Music and mind control.
Okay.
Basically, music plays on a certain frequency, which is normally 440, and that's usually the frequency that is like made for making weapons. So it's mentally making, and almost every song that you listen to is at 440. 423 is the golden rule, and it's like supposed to be the higher frequency where you can. So if you listen to all the music into that frequency, it doesn't sound good. So food for thought. Hold on. Yeah.
I'm feeling the pressure.
No, yeah. So food for thought is like my conspiracy or my theory is, and I don't even like conspiracy because that was even made just to to throw everybody off and think that, oh, this is just something out there that is out there, to cover up the UFOs. But my theory is that all of the music that is being played is not meant for you to upgrade and to elevate. Right? So if you think about all of the music that's played, all riots happen, everybody gets all riled up. And back in the day, all of the music was more like, think of Bob Marley, think of Questlove. Everything was more talking to
Led Zeppelin.
Talking to a bigger spirit, or even in a higher spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that the reason why, and going into those music realms, like the police was in it, the police was trying to stop it, the FBI was trying to stop that wave. Anytime you're talking about peace, they're like, that's not the agenda we're trying to push. And they only big up the people that are talking about all of this rowdy, they're looking for another Kodak, they're looking for another 21 Savage. They're not looking for another KRS-One or Bob. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to big up those people. You don't hear much about Chronics.
Well, I'm surprised that it makes sense because I'm surprised that, honestly, Marley's kids haven't blown up more than they have.
Right? But their music is fire.
The music
what
is
was
incredible.
album, Nas and
Damian Marley.
yeah.
I saw Kimani Marley live, and he was fucking
Incredible.
amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That does make sense. Like if the music is switched, and I heard of like a world council of whoever like oversees music in general made the switch to 432 440 for that's the standard now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but when you like the examples of like the two with the same audio, same music, and you can hear the examples of the two, they sound a little different. It sounds like the same words, same music played, but frequency, like it feels more in your head than on the speaker or on the phone or on the whatever, you know. So maybe they changed that toning. Maybe they knew that this frequency can heal people or wake people up or be more in their head, then okay, let's switch the frequency to this. Let's move it up a little bit to where everyone is still off a little bit, you know?
As an engineer, have you been asked by an artist before to change the frequency?
No.
No?
nobody knows that.
No one knows.
Like it
Probably do an experiment and try to do it, you know?
It starts up at 440, so nobody's gonna change it. You know what I'm saying?
If that's the world standard.
That's the standard, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, if you want to think about it deeper, it's like what are they trying to control? They're trying to control you mentally, right? So what are they promoting? What are you listening to? What are you constantly hearing? You know, you got to be aware of that, because the easiest way to control someone is obviously with your mind. And if you can make your mind a weapon, if I can make you, you know, it's so much.
It's like suicide bombers.
Yeah.
Right? You know?
So think about the sad boy, the sad girl realm that is now being pushed out. Everybody's talking about Molly's, Percocets.
It's such an inception, you know? It's inception.
It's so out there that it's hard to believe.
Well,
you know?
I saw, I mean, which is kind of stupid that I'm referring to a meme, but it was very true. I saw a meme that had like different, I guess like what comedy resonates most with that generation. And like our generation, in case you haven't noticed, is kind of known for that like dry emo humor. Like, I hate everything, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, you know, so like
And think back into there was Hawthorne Heights, what's that? My Chemical Romance.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
That a lot of big emo music was going on at that time, and also the cartoons that we were watching. You think about a lot of sexualized, and I never want to question anybody's sexual orientation, but you question it. As a human, we're questioning it. Now, if you think about our generation, all in the 90s, they implemented so many sexual what's that thing, innuendos
And references.
and
Rocco's
just
Modern Life. Rocco's Modern Life.
Right.
That wasn't for kids.
bro, the boss from Powerpuff Girls was a drag queen.
Yeah, it was him, but I was like, but it's
Which
dressed
is
like
cool.
a girl.
Right.
And
I was like, what's going on?
yeah, there was
We didn't question it. It was like that was
we
it.
didn't. We really didn't. I was like, that's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's a devil in wearing heels and a tutu or some shit like that. I forgot
Yeah.
what it looked like, but something like that.
Yeah.
And it might be representation, but as a child, you're grooming, because we don't know how to think about that. It's not until you're 25 that we start to get an understanding of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So if you have all of these cartoon imageries coming at you and just telling you different things that you don't even understand, and then growing up, it's like, of course you're starting to question some things, and that probably is your personality or your identification, but it's also something that could have been implemented you when you were a child through these cartoons and influences and
Small,
shit.
tiny influences.
Yeah, there were a lot of sexual innuendos in cartoons. I remember there was an anime I used to watch as a kid called Ranma 1.5 or Ranma.
I saw that. I actually the book was that manga.
And it was dope. But like even as a kid, like it was about I don't know if it was originally a guy or a girl, but it was about a guy that whenever he would come into contact with cold water, like a bucket of water or like rain or whatever, he would turn into a girl.
I thought it was a panda.
No, that was his dad. That was the dad. The dad, whenever he would come into contact,
boy, I tell you, what these animes,
he would turn into a panda, and then hot water would turn into a guy.
Wow.
Wow.
And all that sort of shit. Like
anime is extremely sexual.
But here's the thing: what I feel like, what would pass and what would get the clear in a '90s cartoon would not get the clear today, at all. I really don't.
No, because we have Steven Universe, which gets Steven Universe does have a gay couple.
Okay.
Which other one? Adventure Time came out with a gay couple. I think there's certain ways to kind of say they're trans through the animation because it is like gems and candy. You know what I'm saying? So there's different ways
and they can merge together and create a whole new entity through that, and like different little hints like that, like or Toy
but that
Story.
one is supposed to say that it's mental disorder, disassociated or by merging. So they're also doing that. I don't know.
I mean,
Toy Story.
To a certain extent, I think it's good to start, I guess, exposing them to the realities of the world. I'm not saying show them a porno, but a family can be a mommy and a daddy, but a family can also be a mommy and a mommy, or a daddy and a daddy, or whatever the case. And as long as you're promoting it in a respectful, responsible manner. What do you think?
I think because our generation is now having children, we have already accepted it because we've had it kind of because Ren and Stimpy. That shit was out there. You know what I'm saying?
That was a gay couple.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about it. Yeah. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo was a pothead. I fucking
it was a pothead.
All day.
I think
all day.
90s movie was more explicit to the point where they were able to get away with it. Now we're grown up and we're in this generation that we've already accepted it. And now the new cartoons are having a way easier way to just, be a representation, which is not bad, but we've already had it. You know what I'm saying? That's already in us. So,
or bringing the new stuff, TV programming, or Bert and Ernie.
What do you think?
I haven't watched cartoons in a while, so my input is...
But do you think, would you, like if you knew that, topics like these were being, ventured, would you keep your kid from watching them? Or?
No, I mean, I don't think it's a... I don't know. I mean, I never thought about it as a kid. It's true. Like, when we would watch this, we wouldn't think about any of that.
I never thought it was weird. Like,
I never thought, I didn't see anything... I don't know. I don't know. It was just you're a kid. I guess you're not thinking.
You're not. No, I'm not.
You're not.
No, it's not a. That's why, because we're kids. We're not thinking about it. It's not that like the adults are over us watching the cartoon with us. You know what I'm saying? And some of these stuff are even put in for the adults to enjoy it too.
It's made by adults for kids.
Well, I heard. I mean, it was you guys that told me that the Lego Movie was like even watchable for adults.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah. Which is
I think funny as fuck.
For real?
Yeah.
That's fucking
it's good.
hilarious.
But it's not saying that it's bad. It's just saying that sometimes growing up, it's already hard enough and you're already trying to get through your own thoughts, and it makes it even more of a layer of, is it your free will or is it a programming when you are constantly indulging this every day, and they're implementing it as being adults trying to be like, oh, this is funny for an adult, but kids are watching this, you know what I'm saying? So we as adults can have this conversation with our children when we choose to want to, but also it's really, it's a question of free will if it's because you're already given that
it's
program.
already given to you before your parents can even tell you, because we're watching cartoons all day long.
Did you guys have
as a kid? Like,
did you guys have a like a quote unquote sex talk with your parents, like where they kind of like broke it down, or
not at all?
Nah.
Well,
I did with my son, but I don't think.
I don't know about, but my mom was more of My mom did not. Like, she threw me into the sex ed and is like, let them talk to you. No. Yeah. And then now growing up, I already feel like I really can't talk to that to my mom, and she's like, "You're a grown adult. I know what you do," and I'm like, "Bitch, don't see me naked." Stop. But it's for. I also have his mom and my best friend, when she would talk to her all the time and I will feel uncomfortable, but they had such an open conversation, and it just was like talking about sex all the time, which I feel like having your parent before talking to friend or talking to just, you know, your mate would be easier, or would be how do I explain
an easier
it?
transition.
Yeah, like you'll be more comfortable with yourself if you are even talking to your mother. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I'm dealing.
Watching
with.
Disney at 3.
Yeah.
Ill. Did you have that talk or?
No, I never did.
No?
No, I had to.
Is that a
Figured it out. Little Pornhub Premium. Huh?
your mom and dad? No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my mom was out of my life for a big chunk of it, but my dad, we never had that discussion.
He's kind of like, where?
But I mean, it was also the relationship. My father and I, we don't have a good relationship, so you know, we wouldn't really talk unless it was like fights.
So kind of like riding a bike, you kind of figure it out.
Just figure it out.
Figure it out.
You have friends, and
It's like, oh, that's not what that's for. But,
Is this how you do it?
is that?
is that where that goes?
Okay.
Y'all remember that toy Bop It?
Yeah.
Twist it.
Oh man, that was
Bop
fun.
it.
But me,
Keep
I'm gonna have a discussion with my kids. I was actually talking to Craig about it. I'm like, yo, have you talked to these? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
How'd that come about?
You know, it's not really a one talk.
So hey, listen,
That's
son,
what it is. It's not one talk.
It's not.
It's
You
a
seen that scene in
constant, open
Pokemon?
conversation.
you just drop it. Like one day, he's gonna be like, what? One day.
Like Steve Harvey with Nick Cannon.
He's a
What
condom.
movie was that?
Condom.
Fucking Love Don't Cost a Thing.
Yeah, man.
For real.
I was asking
Condoms, all
Craig.
that.
Yeah.
It's just open conversation.
Yeah.
Whatever comes to mind within the time frame. It's like,
Yeah.
you know when you need to say something, but you hold it. You be like, no, I'm not gonna say nothing right now. Nah, don't do that. It's best you just say it right then and there. Like,
But it's good to have that open dialogue because you don't want them to be like.
that's when they don't pooch up and get scared.
Yeah.
And he always has an open conversation, and it's so great because you never know when anything's gonna happen in life and when they're actually gonna apply that.
Yeah.
And it's to have that honest and have it that he can go to him no matter what and talk about it.
Yeah, you having that like transparent relationship is very refreshing because I feel like not a lot of people are like, oh, like that's gonna, you know, like.
And being vulnerable as a man.
Exactly. As a man, more than anything, that's how the fucking dope that they can feel.
Yeah, the older
safe.
generation didn't do that, and I think that's why it's different.
For
you know?
sure.
Like especially if you were from the islands, like yo, that didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see it. Like they said, it's refreshing.
As we go through time, you think we just fixing the mistakes of humans? Like, you know, that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Unfuck
right?
yourself.
Yeah, it's a book actually. I read it.
I'm reading it on Audible.
It's dope. Yeah. Fucking. I think that just how our parents strive to do the same from their parents, and our kids would strive to do the same from us. I think that's kind of like the never-ending, you know, pursuit of every generation. At least until you hit that like maturity, and it's like, all right, like I'm done with the games. Like, what am I? Well, you know, who am I as a man? Who am I as a person? Like, what do I stand for? You know, what do I believe in? And when you have the answers, you know, to that is when you kind of figure that out, I think. But yeah, I do think that's ultimately the goal. You know, like if I felt that there was a fuck up somewhere along the line that either, you know, one of my parents did or I did or whatever, I think ultimately we want to remedy that, you know, and not, you know, bestow that upon our kids.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely do think that
Do better than the last.
It's definitely a lot of reflection though,
Yeah.
because you have to know what you're doing, what you didn't have or what you like needed as a child, you know, to understand that, because some people go in life just being so unaware that they are just reflecting what they were put on as a child, you know.
Facts. Ladies and gentlemen, You good?
Yeah.
I hope you don't got that Rona, because I'm about to like. I'm about to blow up Tom, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say you are filming a bunch of stuff during this quarantine and you got nothing to do with it. I'm waiting for the. Thank you.
So I thought you were going
and you have nothing to do with this footage. You got one person you got to hit up, and that is Tom MJ Moore. You know what I'm saying? That is the one man in the game that's going to get you right in the middle of this pandemic, this apocalypse, this craziness. And as soon as, life is back to normal, he's the first one that's up and running because he's still kind of like up and running. Music videos, podcasts, short films, long films. Really, there's nothing this man can't handle. His skills are unparalleled. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? If you are on YouTube, hit us with that subscribe. On Instagram, hit us with that follow, or Spotify, all that good stuff, wherever you get your Midnight in Miami fix. It has been real. It has been beautiful. I am Gamero. I am here with ill-logicz, Ali the Alien, and Craig. We will see you every Thursday at midnight or Friday mornings. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit too late for you because you chilling at the crib during this quarantine. Please do stay safe. Please do stay at home. And please use hand sanitizer. Stay Rona free, ladies and gents. Come on. See you next Thursday. Holla.
Talk about anything, and it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel.